What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with my December haul / January TBR. Now for the past few months since I started this channel, I've been planning out my TBR each month so that every book is from a different genre, and it has improved my reading so much. It never feels monotonous. I always get lots of variety in my reading. I especially always want to read at least one classic and one nonfiction book, and this is something that I really want to continue on in the new year. So for my classic read of the month, it's one I have already started. It is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is a classic magical realism story about one family through the generations in a mythical town in South America. Marquez is known as like the father of magical realism, which is one of my favorite genres, and this won the Nobel Prize, so I have no idea why it's taken me this long to pick it up. But as I said, I've already started reading it and I am just loving every moment of it. Next, I have my book club's pick of the month, and it is the Furies of Calderon. This is the first book in Jim Butcher's Codex Alera series. This is a high fantasy book set in a place called Alera, where all of the people have some kind of connection with one of the Furies, or the elements of earth, air, wind, fire, and metal. Except for the one character, Tavi. He is the only person who doesn't have this connection, and so I love that it seems like a flip on the typical fantasy trope where he's the only one who doesn't have powers. Again, I've already started it and I'm just a few chapters in, but I am already loving it. It is super fast-paced, action adventure. My literary fiction pick for the month, which is usually my preferred genre, is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Obviously another very famous book. It won the Pulitzer Prize in 1983, so it seems I'm reading a lot of award winners this month. This is looking at the lives of African American women in the 1930s in the South, obviously the hardships that they were going through, and specifically this book follows two sisters, one who is a missionary in Africa and the other who has become a child bride. This is another book that I've heard so much praise for. I've been meaning to read it for years, so we're starting off 2016 right. For my nonfiction read of the month, this might be my most anticipated book. It is Dead Mountain by Donnie Eichar. This is the true story about a group of climbers in the Russian mountains in 1969 who were all found dead, which is not that surprising being as climbing is so dangerous, but they were all found in very mysterious circumstances. Their tent was ripped open, they didn't have proper winter clothing on, it looked like somebody might have killed them, but then the Soviet government hushed everything up, so all these years later, nobody knows what happened to them. Though we will never really know what happened, the author goes into all of the theories and hypothesizes about what is the most likely scenario. I am beyond excited for this one, and I heard there is also like a cheesy Netflix movie about the climbers, so after reading it, I'll have to check that out. My YA read of the month will be Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is a high fantasy book about a girl in a tower and a dragon. Sounds kind of like Rapunzel-ish. I'm not really sure because I'm trying to go into it completely blind, because I have almost never heard so much hype for a book in my life. And I cannot believe that Patrick Rothfuss, the author of the Kingkiller Chronicles, blurbed it on the back. He is one of my favorite authors, so if it gets his approval, I am sure that I will love it. Plus, this is probably my most beautiful cover on my shelf. I don't know if you can see the gold leaf glinting off. I am in love. This is the UK edition. Lastly, the children's book that I would like to read this month is The Reptile Room. This is the second book in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. I just read the first book, The Bad Beginning, last month. I loved it. It is of course about the three Baudelaire children who have become orphaned and they are stuck with the evil Count Olaf who wants to take away their inheritance. I love that the book is so dark and creepy, and funny, but also very sophisticated for a children's book. I like that the author doesn't seem to talk down to children. They are never written as if children couldn't understand it or that it would be too dark for them. I am so excited to continue on with the series. I placed a hold on it at the library, so I should get it in about a week or so. So that is it for all of the books that I would like to get to in January. I'm very happy that 2 of these books were Christmas gifts and the other 4 I got from the library, so I did not buy a single book this month. I would love to hear about some of the books that you're planning on reading in the month of January, or if you've already read some of these books, please comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!